You're not gonna believe what happened when my drone delivery went rogue. Well, kinda. So picture this. I'm waiting for a package. Not just any package, one I've been tracking for days. It was finally arriving via drone, which was already cool enough. Everything was going smoothly. I'm watching the app and boom, the drone's almost at my house. But then, out of nowhere, it suddenly divots mid-air and lands asterisk on the neighbor's lawn asterisk. And not just any neighbor. We're talking about asterisk Karen asterisk, the queen of the HOA. You know the type, constantly patrolling the neighborhood like it's a military base, reporting people for having grass that's too long or a car parked a few inches off. At first, I figured maybe it was a GPS glitch. Until I see her outside, arms crossed, glaring up at the drone like it was trespassing on sacred HOA land. And then, she takes it picks it up like it's her Amazon Prime order, walks off and shuts the door. No knock, no hey, this landed here by mistake. Just straight up theft. Now, what she didn't know is that this drone came with a little surprise feature. I had one move left. Let's just say, I don't think she was expecting what happened next, especially not right over her roof. Stick around because it gets wild. Now, before I tell you what I did, you need to understand something about Karen. This woman doesn't just follow the HOA rules. She is the HOA rules. She's the kind of person who has cameras pointing in every direction but insists yours are an invasion of privacy. She once left a printed warning on my door because my garbage bins were out 30 minutes early. So yeah, when I saw her take my drone like it was totally hers, I knew this wasn't some innocent misunderstanding. I checked the app again. Yep, it clearly showed the package was supposed to land in my backyard. No errors, no glitches. The drone had followed its path perfectly until those last few feet. That's when I remembered. Karen had been complaining about drones in the HOA Facebook group for weeks. Said they were annoying and invasive. I even saw her post once about reporting any drone that flew near her house. It was all starting to make sense now. She probably saw the drone coming and stood outside just waiting. And when it landed, she swooped in like a hawk. But what she didn't realize is, this wasn't just a basic delivery drone, it was custom. And it had GPS tracking, live video feed, and a siren mode I hadn't tested yet, until now. So I'm sitting there, watching the drone's live feed from my phone, heart pounding, trying to decide what to do. I could call the HOA, but Karen is the HOA. I could knock on her door, but let's be honest, that's a trap. She's probably got one of those doorbell cams ready to clip me into her next complaint, and I wasn't about to argue with someone who thought she owned the sky of her lawn. Meanwhile, the live feed kept rolling. My drone was sitting inside what looked like her sunroom, just chilling there. I could hear muffled voices, her on the phone, probably talking to someone about suspicious flying devices. That's when it really clicked. She wasn't just annoyed about drones. She wanted to make an example out of mine, and maybe me. I remembered she once accused another neighbor of having a dangerous tree just because a branch leaned into her side of the fence. That guy ended up having to pay a fine and get the tree cut. Karen didn't just use HOA rules, she weaponized them. But here's the twist. What Karen didn't know was that I had cloud storage enabled on the drone's video. I was already saving every second, every move she made, and the siren, still waiting to be activated. Just one tap, but I had a better idea first. So I'm staring at my phone, finger hovering over the siren button, heart racing like I'm in some kind of movie. Every instinct in me wanted to hit it, blast the sound, and make a statement. But something told me to wait. This was bigger than just a stolen drone. This was Karen crossing a line she thought no one would call her out on. I decided to record everything. Screen capture on, mic on. I wanted proof, not just for me, but in case she tried to flip the story later, which, let's be real, was almost guaranteed. Meanwhile, on the drone feed, I saw her pacing around, waving her arms like she was explaining something dramatic to whoever she had on the phone. It didn't look like she had any plans to return it. In fact, she looked smug. And just when I thought it couldn't get weirder, the drone's mic picked up something else. She mentioned calling the local news said something about how drones were becoming a neighborhood hazard, and she intercepted one before it could cause damage. My jaw dropped. She was trying to spin this like she was some kind of hero. That's when I knew I had to act fast, not just to get my drone back, but to stop whatever story she was about to launch. And the siren. Yeah, it was almost time. Almost. Just as I was getting ready to trigger the siren, something new popped up on the drone feed. Karen wasn't alone anymore. Another person stepped into frame, someone I didn't recognize at first. Tall guy, clipboard in hand, official looking. My first thought, HOA backup. But then I noticed the city logo on his shirt. This wasn't just neighborhood drama anymore. She'd actually called in a city inspector. Now the stakes were way higher. If Karen convinced this guy my drone was violating some local ordinance, I could be looking at fines or worse, my drone confiscated completely. And the way she was talking, she was pulling out all the stops, claiming it was spying on her property, that it was flying unsafely, and get this, she even said it nearly hit her dog. I couldn't believe it. She was stacking lie after lie, and this city guy was actually nodding along. Meanwhile, my phone buzzed. An email notification from the drone service. It had flagged unauthorized grounding outside of delivery zone. Great. One more layer of bureaucracy I'd have to fight if this escalated. That's when it hit me. If this inspector documented anything based on *** version of events, I might lose all control of the situation. I had the footage. I had the timestamps. But now I needed the one thing Karen wouldn't see coming, public pressure. And yeah, maybe the siren too. I knew I was out of time. Karen was spinning her story fast. The inspector was scribbling notes, and my drone was still sitting helpless in her sunroom. So I hit record on my phone camera, opened the drone app, and finally, activated the siren. Instantly, the speakers on the drone let out a loud, pulsing alarm. Not obnoxious, just attention-grabbing. It echoed right through her backyard and out onto the street. Karen jumped like she'd seen a ghost. The inspector turned around, confused, while the drone's LED lights started flashing in sync. It was impossible to ignore. And then came the twist I didn't see coming. As Karen rushed toward the drone, yelling something I couldn't make out, the inspector noticed the camera blinking and asked, "Is this thing recording?" She froze. I heard her stammer, trying to explain how it landed by mistake, how she was just keeping it safe. But the inspector wasn't buying it anymore. Right then, I activated the voice function through the drone. Calm, clear, and just loud enough. "This drone is currently live recording. I am the owner. GPS confirms the intended landing zone. Please return it immediately." The look on her face, priceless. The inspector looked at her, then at the drone, then walked out, didn't say a word. And Karen? She stepped outside, holding the drone like it was radioactive. But just as I thought it was over, she said something under her breath that changed everything. As I thought I was about to get my drone back without any further drama, Karen muttered under her breath, "This isn't over. I'll make sure the HOA knows what you're doing with these drones." She didn't say it loud enough for the inspector to hear, but I caught it. It was clear now. This wasn't just about one delivery. It was about her needing control, and she wasn't ready to let go. The inspector looked at her, then at the drone, then walked out, didn't say a word. And Karen, she stepped outside, holding the drone like it was radioactive. But just as I thought it was over, she said something under her breath that changed everything. As I thought I was about to get my drone back without any further drama, Karen muttered under her breath, "This isn't over. I'll make sure the HOA knows what you're doing with these drones." She didn't say it loud enough for the inspector to hear, but I caught it. It was clear now. This wasn't just about one delivery. It was about her needing control, and she wasn't ready to let go. I wasn't sure what her next move would be, but I knew she wouldn't stop until she found some way to turn this into a bigger fight. But in that moment, with the drone finally back in my hands and the inspector gone, I realized something important. I didn't have to fight her alone anymore. The footage was there, the neighbors had seen it, and the community was starting to wake up to the idea that Karen was no longer the authority she thought she was. As I walked away, I smiled. Sometimes you have to use a little creativity to take control of a situation, especially when it's someone like her. And hey, next time I order a drone delivery, I'll make sure Karen's *, not * on the route.